This glorious Sunday. We are so glad that y'all took time out of y'all's day to join us. And hey, we're talking about something that I've made a lot of in my life on ranches, and that is quick and easy sourdough pancakes. But we're going to give everybody time to jump on, just do a little visiting here. Make sure now, before you even get started, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. And I've had some people comment on YouTube already from this last week, said, hey, I was subscribed and then I'm not subscribed. So make sure you are. I don't know what happens, but sometimes this gets kicked off. Oh, we are so fortunate tonight. We are joined by the best looking part.
Production came on.
Yes. So it is good.
I am so glad to today because if anybody joined in on our last live, please let me know if you were here. It was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I had technical problems and I couldn't get the camera shifted. So we were all in vertical and now we are in, I think we're in horizontal. Yeah, it says horizontal here.
It looks good to me. But we thank y'all so much for reaching out. We've had so many people that wanted to know how we were out here north of Ruidoso.
Yeah, so I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen on the news. Of course, Texas got hammered. Shortly after that, Ruidoso got a really good rain. And the problem with us is, of course, last year we had the fire. And so now there's nothing holding the water. And so typical, we're in monsoon season. Yep. It's usually not that big of a deal. It hasn't been too bad of a deal. They've figured out the flood routes, so everything's fine. It's usually in the afternoon, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, it's cleared out, it's fine. However,
this last week was not that way.
It got a bad one.
Yeah, they got about 3 inches in about 90 minutes up there on the burn scar, and it was such a tragedy to see what happened. Lost 3 lives,
yes,
I think, during that. And so be sure you keep all the flood victims in your prayers, the ones in Texas and here also, because Texas had some more flooding again today. So just lift them up in prayer. It would mean a lot to those folks. And
we're up higher. We're to the north, so we weren't affected at all.
No,
but
we're good. But it's been a great day. It has. We're getting ready to do some cooking at different places, and we loaded the wagon today in the trailer.
We loaded the wagon. I will post a short video on us loading the wagon, getting ready.
Yeah, wagon loaded pretty fast today too, didn't it?
Yeah, I'll show you once we get cooking. It'll be interesting. If you guys are just joining us, Ken is going to show you how to make a quick and easy sourdough starter. If you are in the sourdough community, you know sourdough can be a little bit of a pain.
At times.
This one you've developed.
Yeah.
I don't know, how long ago did you develop this sourdough starter?
40 years ago, probably.
So this starter is ready in overnight,
yeah.
12 hours. We ideally say let it set up to 24 if you like more of that soury taste.
Yeah.
But this is super easy because we can't be messing, when we're on a ranch, we can't be messing with sourdough and babysitting it. So this is ready in 12 hours. You can make biscuits, pancakes, pies. We've battered meat in it.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah,
but
it is a thing that stayed on the chuck wagon when old Cookie was going down the trail forever anyway, but it's something that we still use a lot today. We make sourdough pancakes like we're going to do tonight, but sourdough biscuits, cinnamon rolls. It makes great pie crust for a pie.
Yes.
But you can, like she said, if you'll dip meat in it, flour it first, and then dip it back in there, it gives a great crust on meat, but it makes a great pizza crust too. So there's a lot of uses for sourdough, and the way we make it, don't be afraid of it, because I've seen so many people and talked to them, and they talk about sourdough, and they say, well, I had one started for so long, and then I forgot to feed it, or I didn't walk it around the house at night and sing it a song. So this one isn't this way. You can use it 1 day, 3 days, 5 days, and then pour it out, start over.
So I'm going to...
You quitting us?
I'm going to quit. I'm going to go work the camera so it can be live. Somebody said that your mic is low, so I'm going to switch it out.
All right.
The setting may be different on that. I don't usually mic up, so...
So everything good now, I hope. Reckon so?
Somebody comment, are we good on volume? Are we good on viewing?
Yeah.
Audio, everything.
Yeah.
Before I go to the camera. Because we have not done lives in a minute.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago was our first live in a long time. And of course, YouTube changes all the technicalities all the time. So, everybody's saying much better. Okay.
All right. So we're good to go.
Okay.
We are.
So I'm going to go there's going to be a bobble while I grab the camera off the tripod, and then we'll get to cooking.
All right, I'm gonna give her time to get everything set up just right. But we're gonna talk about really some of the history of sourdough that I use anyway, and what a role it played for old Cookie, you know, going down the trail. Now, sure, sourdough is one of them things that it doesn't typically have yeast in it. Now, that is traditional sourdough, but how does it grow then? All the spores and everything that just comes from the atmosphere. That's why sourdough bread tastes different in San Francisco, and it'll taste different in North Carolina. So, hang on, something has got a hold of me here. But this one is not that way. This is what I call a quick set starter. It's really easy to put together. I'm gonna walk you through it here in just a minute. But folks, you gotta remember, don't be afraid to make you some sourdough. You can put some on tonight right after this video, and you can make sourdough pancakes in the morning. You'll be, oh, everybody's gonna love you. But let's talk about putting this sourdough starter together. We get our bowl out here. Let me find the starter. And people was asking me last week, we needed a picture of the big, so
Let me go in close with that.
I do miss that feller every day. I see him in something that me and him might have done or wish we could have been doing. So he's out there. There's also a rock up on the mountain not too far from the house, and when we first moved in here after we lost the house in the fire, and I looked up there and I told Shan, I said, we're in good shape. I said, there's a beagle rock up there. He keeps an eye on us every day. So every day when I come out, I look up there at that rock and I said, morning, Big. How you doing? Shin, I want you to look in here. There is some magic happening. We have a live creation there. Things are going, they are. And there's just something about the way sourdough starter smells to me. It's one of the best things in the world. But I'm going to cover this one up. I wanted you just to look and see what was happening, because we put this one on earlier. So
Somebody asked, did you win your belt buckle?
did I win my belt buckle? Yeah, 1984. McLean, Texas. It was a 66 year they'd had the rodeo. Drawed a bull, hadn't been rode in about 3 years, and it rained about 5.5 inches in that arena, and there was one dry spot right there in the corner. So they backed him up all the way to the end. Whew, it was a good day. But I sort of made a mistake that night after it was over. I took the belt buckle when they give it to me, and I give it to my oldest son, Jason. I said, here, you hold this for me. And that lady said, we're just going to let you have it. It took me about 31 years to get it back from him, but we did get her done. So let me get what we need here for starter, which is some warm water.
Do you have to put sourdough in a crock?
Yes. Sourdough needs to be in a crock, and I'll tell you a funny story quickly about that. And I was telling people this at this festival. I said, make sure you put it in a crock jar, puts you a towel or something on it that it can breathe with. And there was a lady walked up to me afterwards, and she said, I sell Tupperware, I'm just going to put mine in Tupperware. I said, you could, ma'am, but I said, don't put that lid on there. Oh, she said, them lids, you can snap them down there tight, won't nothing spill. I said, ma'am, do not put the lid on it. I said, because you're going to wake up about 2 o'clock in the morning thinking you heard a shotgun blast, and you're going to run down there to the kitchen, and you're going to be looking around, and some of that sourdough starter is going to drip off the ceiling where it hits you in the face, because there's a lot of pressure here, folks, that's going to get to going. So we need 4 cups of warm water.
I've measured it.
Oh, Shannon's already measured. Thank you so much, sweetheart. I appreciate that. A package of dry yeast. Now, people used to ask me this a long time ago, and I used to buy my yeast in what is called a cake when I was cooking on so many ranches. Be like this, 2-pound bag. How did I store it? Well, I'd take me some out, put it in a mason jar, put it in the wagon, the rest of it went in the freezer. And then I had a lady tell me one time, when you put it in the freezer, you just killed that yeast. So, hey, whatever y'all think, let us know. Give this a stirring. And I'll tell you from Shan's expertise of making bread, and she is a great bread maker, she is. Do not put hot water in here, because hot water will kill yeast. Warm water is just fine. Now we're going to put about 1/3 of a cup.
5 tablespoons.
Which is 5 tablespoons. I'm going to give it just a little more because this is the first time batch coming out of here tonight. So we're through with that one. And if y'all got this cookbook, I Tasted Cowboy, the very first one, this recipe is in there, you'll be good to go. So we're gonna give it one more stir since the sugar's in there. Why does yeast and sugar go in together?
I think people are confused. So you said don't store yeast in the freezer?
I'm
or do
asking.
You mean sourdough?
No, yeast.
Oh,
I'm
everybody's
asking.
saying it's fine.
Okay, I just want to make sure because that's where I kept mine forever and ever. So we have sugar, we have water, we have yeast. Now what is next? Well, if I only knew, and that'd be flour. Now you can let that sit there if you want to before you ever start and proof that yeast. Now I know all you bread makers know what that is, but you just get seeing that bubbling around because I always look at the date on these little packages, and most of the time they'll tell you this one is good to 2077. So make sure you look at them, that way you don't get caught by surprise. Get the water out of this. I don't even know how much flour goes in
4
here. It's been
cups.
so long since I made this. So 4 cups of flour. Now normally I would make this right in the crock jar. That way I wouldn't have to be pouring it in something else. That is 3.
We've got somebody from Ireland watching.
Well, thank you so much. This is 4. We're going to give it another stir. Try to get everything blended well. And if you think it's a little thick, and I do, we're going to add a little more water. That's all we're going to add tonight, though.
What's the consistency?
Well, really, you're looking for a thick pancake batter is what I'd say. But if we just had this sitting here, and people was asking, how is this ever going to become sourdough starter? Because there's no souring agent in there, nothing to really go with the sugar and yeast that's going to break down and make this have that sour taste. How many of y'all know how to make vodka? I don't, but I do know that they made vodka a lot of the times and it's got a potato in it because this potato will sit in there. The starch that it gives away to the yeast, to the sugar, you get that souring effect. Now, a russet is all you're going to use. Don't use anything else. When I was little, and my grandmother and my mother had some sourdough starter, they would boil potato water and use that. And I know people that have used potato flakes, but me, I just use a russet potato. Now, on a ranch, we'll make this before we go in. It'll probably have set a day. Now, I may use it 3, 4, 5 days in a row. But as you use this, the weaker it becomes. And when you take something out, you got to put something back, and that's usually flour and sugar. But if I use it more than 3 days, I'm going to add a little more yeast to it to make sure that it's still active. The potato will eventually dissolve because I kept some on the wagon one time in the Paladera Canyon for 2 weeks just to see what happened. The potato finally got eat up. I dipped it out of there, put me another one back in there, used it for another week. But don't be afraid to think, oh, I've got to use this every day. I've got to make sure that I keep it going. Folks, all I tell you to do, if you're going to keep this in a crock jar, make sure it's covered all the time, but make sure you stir it at least once to twice a day. Let me find something to quarter this up with. And right straight in it goes.
That's a big old tater.
Yes, it is. We're going to give this one to the bear. He'll like it. So, if you was in your crock jar, you just make sure that all that was covered good with that potato. You would set it aside, cover it, and folks, in about 6 to 8 hours, you'll begin to smell it. Go over there and you take a little peek and you get to see it just bubbling. You have created a live pet that you have in your kitchen now, but it's got so many uses and so many benefits. So let me set this aside because we, like I say, we made one earlier, we did.
And guys,
But
we
you
do
can
have,
see,
is it thicker now?
yeah, I mean, it's just about right, really.
We do have this all on our website, the full recipe, all the tips, so you can refer back to that as well.
Yeah.
And this is for people who are asking, This is not a traditional starter. This is a quick set
Yeah,
starter.
this is something that I come up with a long time ago because I didn't want to have to wait. I didn't want to have to feed it every day, sort of like a bottle calf. I got tired of tending to it. So let me get rid of these tater peelings. I ain't going to give them to the bear.
I see.
Hi, Lou. Now then, we call these all-night sourdough pancakes. But really, they're not all night. The only thing that said all night was the starter. But you can tell people you've been up all night slaving on these pancakes. Make them think that, hey, you stayed up for them. They're special people. So we're going to get started with it.
I see that bubble again.
Yes.
Ooh. So how long did this only said about 10 hours, I think.
Yeah, about 10 hours it always had. And we're going to stir it down right off the bat. Now you can see when you dip in there, look at there. That is goodness right there. Just keep stirring. It will thin a little.
I do get a lot of people asking too. This starter typically will only bubble up when you first make it.
Yeah.
And after that, it's still okay to use, but it won't bubble up.
Now if you let it set 2 or 3 days and you add just like a half a package of yeast back to it, you will get that bubbling effect again. But when we use it all the time, hey, 3 or 4 days, I'll pour it out and start a new batch.
Somebody was asking where Major was.
Mage is over here protecting. Hi, Mage. He likes a pancake, he does. So we got that stirred up. If I can find that there measuring cup that I had. 2 cups of sourdough starter. Now, if I was at the wagon and I had all the modern conveniences that the wagon had, I would dip this in water first. That way it's going to come out of there a whole lot easier. So we're going to put 2 cups in there. There's 1. And you can see that's pretty thick, but still it's pourable. And there is 2. So let's talk about recharging that starter before we go any further. Now usually when I make sourdough biscuits, it calls for 3 cups of sourdough starter. To recharge, I'd put 1.5 cups of warm water back in there, 1.5 tablespoons of sugar, and 1.5 cups of flour. Stir it back up, set it aside, it's ready to go. I can remember when we was at Silver Dollar City, I would make probably close to 250 to 300 biscuits of a morning, all coming out of 2 crock jars. So we got our starter situated.
Somebody wants to, what does it smell like?
Smells like heaven to me. Reminds me of my grandmother and my mother's kitchen. When you would go in there, you just know that aroma you get from fresh baked bread. To me, there's just nothing better. And I always know when Shan is making bread, come home there and whew, things are smelling good in the kitchen. They are. Let's see if I can just go ahead and get it all over there, Shan, then I won't have to come back. But this recipe is really simple, really easy to follow along, and 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Now, I have been in a type before and used 2 tablespoons of butter, but one time in the Palo Duro Canyon in the winter, I used 2 tablespoons of bacon grease, and I really like that one. So we're going to add 2 tablespoons. I would say that's right on the money or awful close. And to that, I'm going to have to look at the recipe, Shin. 2 tablespoons of sugar, which is exactly that much right there, with 1 pinch to go with it. And we'll get rid of that one. 2 little teaspoons of baking soda. If I can get all of this out of there.
For people who join late, what are you making?
I'm making all night, easy sourdough pancakes. Easiest thing in the world. To that, we're going to add a little vanilla. And if you want to change this up a little, you can add any flavoring you want in there. Rum, like you would put in a rum cake. You can add you some cinnamon to it now. Allspice, nutmeg, anything like that. So,
Scoop says they like how you measure.
well, when we made this cookbook, A Taste of Cowboy, all these recipes, which in all cookbooks that we have been cooked on ranches. But when we made this, and this one was a little trouble for me because Shan's first words were, we can't tell people that it's a pinch, a dab, or about that much. You're going to have to go back through there and give me all these measurements. So we could look at that and think, hey, it needs something else. And that something else is flour. Let me get a rag. And if you're cooking pancakes, the best thing to cook them in is a cast iron skillet or a good cast iron griddle of some time. So get one a little preheated there on the stove. You get some of this starter out there so the flour will actually come out. Now this is one of them deals to where you have to go by really consistency. Calls for a 1/2 cup to 3/4 cup of flour. Now we're going to start on the light side since we don't have any water out here unless we have to fire up the hose. But y'all all know what pancake batter is supposed to look like. And we're getting really close. We are.
What's the difference between pancakes and flapjacks?
Pancakes and flapjacks. Well, to me, pancakes started homesteads, cabins, stuff like this, old settlers. Always heard that flapjacks come from logging camps. Now, people will, I'm sure somebody can answer that question. It's like a waffle and a pancake. What's the difference when we're making a pancake and we cook it over here or we pour it in one of them old griddle irons and cook it like that? Is it a pancake anymore? No, it's a waffle. So you just have to be your own judge of that. One thing we forgot to have is a little pinch of salt. Don't take much, but about that much. And I'd say we might be just on a tad on the thick side. Shen, can you tell them something while I get a little water out of this faucet? Huh? Talk to them. I got to have a little water.
Oh, as I mentioned, if you guys are jumping on late, this video will be available up on our channel so you can go back and watch it. And then also this recipe and additional tips on the sourdough starter and the pancakes you can watch or you can get on our website, just KentRollins.com. And everybody keeps reminding us, yes, please hit the like button. That really helps our channel, something super easy.
Make sure you're subscribed and share the videos on every platform you got with your neighbors, but you got to share the food too. Let me turn the spigot off. So I think we're going to thin this a little. Shan is usually my pancake maker when we're on a ranch, so I'm going to ask her expert advice. Don't you think it needs to be thin, Shan, just a tad? Yeah.
I don't like to go too thin. I think that's just fine. Someone says flapjacks have cornmeal in them.
Ooh, all right. So I am glad to know that. I do love about any kind of pancake, flapjack, waffle. Now, I've done this on a ranch one time because it was this guy had his grandkids in camp. He was part owner in the ranch. And I heard one of them say we was having pancakes, and he said, boy, Grandpa, I wish we had chocolate chip pancakes. Well, I carry candy with me when I'm on a ranch because sometimes I need a little quick pick-me-up. I didn't have any of them chocolate chips, but I just went to peeling the chocolate off of Hershey's Kisses and just dropping them in there. That little kid was proud as punch, he was. He said, it's better than IHOP. So I think we're awful close, Shan. We're going to quit right there. We're going to move over here in just a second, grease us up a spot with some butter, and we're going to go to cooking pancakes. Now, if I was on the wagon, I would just pour this in a pitcher. Then I could just pour them out, whatever size I want them. And you can make your pancakes whatever size you want them. So y'all follow me over here. I'm going to get it all over here. Yes, ma'am.
Can I also ask, do you want to tell everybody why you're wearing your Crocs today to cook, which you don't ever do?
Well, a guy told me one time real chefs wear Crocs, and I told him I wasn't a chef. But the reason I got Crocs on today, folks, is we were loading the wagon today. And the trailer's on a little bit of a slope. So when we got it over there, I told Shan, I said, bring the side by side up here. We're going to put that winch cable on that back axle to where it don't run over me at the front of that trailer. Well, things was going smooth as butter they was, and there's about this much room on each side of that trailer from where the wagon is. And as it was going in there, the cable come undone. And we had like a runaway wagon. And it's going pretty fast, and it's coming in, let me see, 18 foot, it's going to be exactly where I'm at.
I don't even think it was that far.
And I said, God, make me thinner than I am because I'm fitting to get run over. Well, I knew it was coming. I didn't want to catch it in the ribs, and I didn't want to catch it in the kneecap, so I hugged the wall best I could, tried to find the brake, and it run over the toes. And I couldn't get out, and the escape door on that side was locked, and I couldn't reach it to get the handle, and Shan had to go to pickup to get the keys, and she said, are you hurt bad? I said, I really don't know, but something's hurting a lot. Mashed the calf of my leg up there good where that hub hits the side of that trailer. But that old big toe is like this wide now, and the nails just sort of flipping back and forth. And but hey, we're gonna cook anyway.
So the toe's definitely broken, but you're hobbling along.
Oh yes, I mean I got my Crocs on.
Oh, somebody said you were limping as well. They could tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna be too much dancing tonight, folks, I can promise you that. So let me get over here to the Blackstone. And I have just got it on low heat because you can burn a pancake pretty quick if you ain't paying attention. Now, we're gonna get the tools that we need to make this process happen, which is some butter. This here butter right here, this spray, I'm gonna give you a tip here in a minute that'll save your pancake cooking life. We're going to get our plate over here because things are going to happen pretty quick. I'm going to set this right here for right now. Make sure I got everybody present and accounted for.
I got you a little 1/4 of a cup.
Oh, you did?
Pour.
Hang on, I got to get a rag. And but let me know, do y'all put something in y'all's pancakes? I mean, Shan covers her a lot of time with fruit. Everything like that, but do you put chocolate chips in there? Do you put pecans? I do like a pecan in there. Butter and a knife, Shan. So we're going to take, not that knife, let's just use this right here. Because we're going to get about that much.
I've got spray butter. You want real butter.
I want real butter for right here. I've just got 2 zones on, so I may start over here on that end. This looks a little hot down there on that end. Get off there, butter. Lay that right there. We're gonna get about, I'd say there's 1/3 of a cup in that right there. Right where that butter is going.
Well, that's a big old pancake.
Oh, I don't like them $half size pancakes. You don't think you ever got nothing to eat. We'll put this in right here beside him. And we're just going to let them sit there.
We get this question a lot. Gluten-free flour with sourdough starter.
Ooh, it is a hard deal for me to know, folks. I don't know how that's going to really react with the yeast and everything else since it hadn't got any gluten in it. Shan, not long ago, got her a meal to where we grind a lot of our own flour now, and it makes a big difference. But that's a question you'd have to ask somebody besides me. And let me get this here spatula. Here's a tip I was going to give you, folks. And we're going to let them pancakes bubble up there some more. Grease your spatula. So when you sneak up on that pancake, it'll slide instead of tear. Sometimes I even like to give me a buffer zone. So we're going to let them cook there till we can go to see a little browning and bubbling on them edges. And folks, we've got more recipes and more,
Ooh, that almost hit the toe.
yeah. We've got more recipes on pancakes too. We've got a video on the lightest, fluffiest pancake there is. But you can't go wrong with pancakes. If we had like 16 or 18 strips of bacon out there, some sausage or ham, pork chop, something like that. But you can see these here have joined like identical twins. So we're going to do a little surgery and get them separated here before they go to do a little fighting. And you can see, we'll just give you all a little sneak peek. What's under there, Shandy? They're getting a little brown, they are. Now, I'm gonna try to flip this one off the spatula and not the ceiling. So make sure, slide around here. Make sure there ain't nobody stuck nowhere. Guess what? It's a pancake.
Oh, he hit the other guy.
Yeah, but he's all right. How dark do you like them? Hey, I just want mine done in the middle. I have been on ranches to where old cook was serving pancakes and they'd be about this tall, and you cut them and this batter just runs out. And I'm thinking, might be a souffle.
Laura had a great idea. You need to make a small one for the pups.
A small one for the pups.
One for each.
One for each of the pups. Well, we can do that right there on that hot side. So
We got questions on hoe cake.
we have made corn dodgers. There's a duker, a Sadie, and a Meiji. So we'll let them go. Now, you can tell when a pancake sets up, he is about there. This one here don't like much either. We're gonna give him a little browning action over here, which is hotter on that side. Just make sure that everything is greased well. That way they don't nothing stick, because to me there ain't nothing worse when you go to get one and it just tears all up going plumb to the other side. Now a lot of times we cook these in a 20-inch skillet on old Bertha, but Bertha's taking the day off. She's in the trailer. How brown do you like your pancakes, Shan?
I like just a medium brown.
A medium brown, okay. So,
Somebody wants a snowman pancake.
a snowman. This one here,
I don't know what that is.
that's one of them deals you see where somebody leaves a comment and they draw it on the page, you know. That is for the duker. That's how he likes his. This is for the Say to Lou,
Those look great.
and that is for Meiji. And see this little deal? That's a tail for a pup. I put that on there on purpose. I did. I figured that and it's browned a little. Ooh, that's the color I want to see.
Good looking.
We're going to give that one just a little more right over here. I'm going to tell you what, Shen. I love pancakes. And the pups' pancakes are about done. So we're going to get them stacked up here. Put them right here to cool. This one, ooh, folks. Now, you could put these over here on this side and keep them warm, but still that's going to cook a little. So we're going right to the plate. Now, before you go and get it over here, and you think we're going to put that other one on top, and then you always see people put butter on the top one. How come did not the first one get butter? And this is just my way of pancakes. I like to give me some holes in here to where that butter can run down in there.
Someone said if your pancakes are uniform, you're not doing it right.
That's sort of like making homemade tortillas. It is. There's the next one. We're gonna have us some more butter. First, we're gonna get us a few holes in here so it can run in there. To me, I can eat these breakfast, dinner, supper.
To me, sourdough also has a slightly different
Yeah.
They look a little different.
Yeah. And
when they bake up.
And to me, a pancake or a traditional pancake can be nearly too sweet time you get syrup on it. But with sourdough, seems to me like it all balances out really well. So I'm gonna meet y'all right back over here at the table.
Don't forget the pumpkin.
I'm not. I got them with me. I'm gonna bring them. And I'm gonna get some syrup. Let me clean up my mess here just a little.
Somebody had been asking about the lives. We have not done a live in a long, long time. We did one a couple weeks ago. And so now, if you guys like them, we're gonna start doing some more.
Yeah. And don't forget, most of y'all know there is regular video comes out.
Terry just got our cookbook. Thanks, Terry.
Regular video comes out every Wednesday at 2:30 Central. Shan's got a lot of shorts that come out through the week. If we can keep these lives going, we asked everybody 2 weeks ago if this on Sunday evenings was a good time for y'all. We're still open for discussion on that, but I sort of like a Sunday evening. Now, Y'all ever hear that song? Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had some syrup. Yep, McDonald's syrup. 100% pure maple syrup. Now, I did this just for me and Chris Morton one time. We made pancakes and we was about out of syrup. So we had some what? Caramel flavored Royal Crown Canadian. And we put some syrup with it so we can make it go further. And folks, it was a pretty good way to start the day.
Wait, okay. Are you going to pour it?
I'm going to pour a little on this first and down in here.
I need to get a good, like, beauty shot.
Ready?
Okay, wait. Go ahead. Okay, now go to the top. Now this is how we do it on every YouTube video, guys. So
Start right here.
Front to back, slow, slow. You got to do like a beauty shot. There you go, okay. And then put a little dab of butter on top. So
A little dab of butter on top. Did you hear that, Mage? Well, we got one little piece of butter left, so we're just going to lay it right here.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Then you put the fork down.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, and there's your shot.
There it is, right there. And while we're having them shots, tell you what we're going to do. Yee, yee, yee. We're going to have, do you want syrup on yours? Okay, you can have just a tad, okay? Right here for the Magey. Can you, let's get them out here where you, over here, Mage. Right there. Whew, that is good. Duker, a little syrup for you on yours. Yeah. Lulu. Whew. And Lou, see this one with the tail on it, Lou? Lou used to be a shortstop. She knows how. Mage, he played second base. Duker, he never did catch. Oh, he did today. Everybody's showing out, they are. Since y'all done so good, let's see if y'all can do that again. Okay. Lulu. Magey. Whoop. Everybody got close, they did. Now it's my turn. Smear that butter around there just a little. Get this little piece right over here.
Let's see that shot.
We're going to do the one-legged bad toe shuffle. That's about it right there. Shan, you are a pancake connoisseur.
I'm working. I can't eat.
You can. You can have about a sourdough.
I can't. I've got to hold it.
Okay.
I'll get one after. I'll get a fresh one.
Them are so good, so easy. You get the taste of that sourdough right off the bat, but it's not overwhelming, but it's not that you don't get so much sweetness either. To me, it is a win-win every time when you're using sourdough. And see, we nearly did get us the same picture in the cookbook, Shan, so.
That one I think I took like
14
12
times?
That was hard.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
1, 2,
food-
3, 4, 5, 6 pancakes on there. Who eat all them?
Photography is tough.
It is for a fact. So, anybody got any questions on sourdough? Hey, we are here to answer them. Remember, get you a crock jar. That's what you need to put it in. And just put you a cup towel over it. Let me just bring him back up here. And you'll have something that'll stay with you. Use it 2 days, 3 days, overnight, pour it out. They are sort of hard to clean, these crocks, after you've had sourdough starter in there. You have to scrub on them a little, but it's well worth the effort. It is. And Duker, you got anything you'd like to add to
Someone
this?
wanted to know what book.
It is in our very first cookbook, which is still a bestseller on Amazon. On Amazon, voted one of the top 100 books to own in a lifetime, A Taste of Cowboy. Now there is also Comfort Food the Cowboy Way and Faith, Family, and the Feast.
We also have these on our website.
Yes, and you can pick them up there. But if y'all are listening too, you want to make a trip, 27th of July, 28th?
Oh, Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
National Day of the Cowboy. July 26th, you will be there.
Yeah, and folks, we had a great time up there last year. There's probably 500 people there. We do a presentation there, a meet and greet, sign some books, take a lot of pictures. But if you've never been to that museum, it is a great thing to see. It is. And we have big news coming up, folks. I mean, we have waited a long time for this, and I know y'all have too. So just be watching the little website and go ahead and circle your calendar for September 29.
We can't say anything yet,
but
but we will release it soon.
Yes, September 29. Oh, and my birthday, September 8. I'm going to do me a little dance, I am. And if you're ever in front of a runaway wagon, try to get out of the way, folks, is all I can tell you.
I do want to say a little mention, too, about, if you guys were late, at the beginning of this video, we talked about Ruidoso and the flooding. This town really relies on tourism. It is safe to come. If you had plans or if you want to come, it's a great little town. It's safe when you're not in flood zones when it's raining.
Yeah.
Otherwise, all the main street shops are open, the restaurants are open, there's great hiking. So, and I think we talked about maybe doing a benefit.
Yeah, here before long.
Somebody mentioned like maybe we raffle off tickets for a Chuck Wagon dinner. If you guys have ideas on that, comment.
Yeah, please let us know. But folks, most importantly, keep the flood victims in Texas and out here in your prayers. And there's a lot of natural disasters going across the United States, a lot of wildfires in different places. So pray for all those folks, plus the first responders and everybody that's trying to take care of somebody. Anything else, pups, that y'all'd like to add? Y'all eat all the pancakes that we had. Everybody's in good shape. We appreciate each and every one of you. We do. It is a great honor for us to get to do these, and y'all take time out of y'all's evening to spend it with us. So I'm going to go ahead and just say a short little prayer for y'all. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this family we have on YouTube and everybody that just comes to watch. And we lift up all the flood victims, Lord, across Texas and here in Ruidoso. Lord, we just ask you to be with those. Families that lost loved ones, we ask you to just bring them grace and comfort. And Lord, I just ask a special blessing upon all our fans and all the people watching. Amen. But it is with great pride and privilege that I tip my hat to Old Glory and to all the servicemen and women and all the veterans that have kept that old flag a-flying. We commend you all. Rest of you, get up in here because I'm hungry and I'm going to eat the rest of this pancake. God bless you, each and every one, and I'll see you down the Sourdough Pancake Trail.
And Lou is watching.
And Lou is watching.
She's ready for a bite. Thank y'all.